ever there is one driver which can propel our country to full-scale developed status, then it is through quality skills training. On that front, the Council for Technical and Vocational Education and Training, COTVET, through a Skills Development Fund, is spearheading that agenda in Ghana.
Who is going to provide the service?
And our main focus has been on mass production of garments.
There was a lot of talk about Sakawa. Are you able to use these same processes to also apprehend people? That is correct.
Our research showed that Ghana was at number 8 in the world when it comes to cybercrime.
On this program, we shall open up the SDF to you.
So SDF is here to support businesses to train their staff to be very productive.
All that we're trying to do is to build a very solid human capital base.
We shall profile beneficiaries of SDF.
We are now even positioned to train about 400 workers.
We give them $276,000 US. There is a fund from which we are giving grants to businesses to address these challenges.
You develop these moringa plants into products like soap, creams. Okay.
Watch SDF Diaries on the Joy News channel on Multi TV every Saturday, 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. SDF, managed by COTVET, is an initiative of the government of Ghana with support from the World Bank and Danida.
The Ghanaian economy is based largely on agriculture, which accounts for 35% of the gross domestic product. About 60% of the labor is engaged in this sector, mostly operating either a crop farm or an animal husbandry. A very essential aspect of the animal husbandry, which provides livelihood and food security, is the poultry sector. We visit the Volta Region Poultry Farmers Association to acquaint ourselves with how they have upgraded their skills in poultry management, courtesy the Skills Development Fund. I am Albert Ankra, and I warmly welcome you to SDF Diaries.
Ghana's overall livestock production has been on the rise since 2000, with an annual production of over 30 million birds. There are very few medium to large-scale commercial poultry businesses. The sector is dominated by small-scale poultry farms nationwide, operating farms of the size of a maximum of 1,000 birds. In an effort to strengthen technical cooperation and advocate a poultry-friendly policy regime, the Ghana National Association of Poultry Farmers was formed with 10 regional representations. One of the most vibrant of the 10 regional representations is the Volta Region Poultry Farmers Association. The Volta Regional branch of the association was registered in 2003 as a company limited by guarantee. The association has a current membership of 300 across the various districts in the Volta region. The association, amongst others, has the following goals and objectives: to plan the development of commercial poultry farming so as to attain national self-sufficiency in poultry and poultry products, to advise the government or any institution set up by the government and any other non-governmental institutions on all matters affecting commercial poultry farming, to procure and distribute inputs to all poultry farmers through their district association, compile statistical data on all aspects of commercial poultry farming, to coordinate the activities of district associations, to act as an arbitrator in settling disputes within the National Association, to organize seminars and training programs to enhance farmers' know-how. Doji Atimu, the regional chairman, explains what the objectives of the association are.
The objectives for setting up this organization, known as the Volta Poultry Farmers Association. One is to improve on our protein production, that is, production of eggs and meat to meet the stomach of the Ghanaian. So we want to feed the Ghanaian by what we produce. Number two, we realize that many people today say there is no job. But we realize that when we engage in this, we will encourage young people who think they have no job to come on board and learn how to keep poultry. And when they do, we will increase our production. 3, we realize that Ghana imports a lot of poultry products for consumption. We did a survey and discovered that about 63% of Ghanaians would prefer the homegrown poultry to the imported. But the hitch is, in the homegrown one, you will buy it, go and slaughter and dress before you chop. So we are planning and have put into action a plan to build a processing plant. And that processing plant is going to employ hands to be as laborers. We will need accountants, we will need managers for the company. And that is where we are going to create jobs for Ghanaians.
The Poultry Farmers Association in the Volta region has witnessed an unprecedented growth in membership from 50 in 2009 to 300. Most of these new members have no formal training in poultry management and the technical expertise in bird upkeep, from day-old chicks to maturity, both in layers and broilers. Particularly, the members lacked the requisite skills in medication, temperature control, feeding, etc. These challenges have resulted in low productivity and high mortality rates of about 50%. As a result, some members of the association were on the verge of going out of business. These problems had also resulted in weak revenue generation for the association to implement programs that could benefit members.
The challenges we were facing is the challenge of profiting in the business. We realize that sometimes you take birds and at the time they are laying, a good number had died. So that death is a loss to the business. One other area is that those that are alive too, their production is not up to standard. And so you feed them, what comes out cannot feed them, so your business will be going down.
In trying to address some of these problems, the association liaised with the Microfinance and Small Loan Center, MASLOC, who agreed and started a credit facility on a pilot basis for some members. The credit was used in procuring feed. However, there still remained skills deficits which needed an intervention by way of skills upgrade in the techniques of poultry management. In 2012, the group successfully applied to SDF for funding to train 60 members in good poultry management practices, including feed formulation and feed intake, record keeping and marketing at the Adidome Farms Institute of the Ministry of Food and Agriculture. SDF approved a grant of 86,490 Ghana cedis to support the Volta Region Poultry Farmers Association to accomplish this objective.
My name is Jacob Enu Ansa, and I own Enu Ansa Farms. What we are into is tilapia hatchery fishing. We are concerned about increasing our production. Our biggest resource is water. Our riverbed, where we source our water, is drying up, and we needed to recirculate the little that we get. So we heard about SDF. We applied, they approved our application, got the funding that we needed to help us install the recirculation aquaculture systems, and also supported us bringing an expert to train us and install the systems. Since then, we've been producing 600,000 from the previous 200,000 monthly. And indeed, we have capacity to do up to 1 million fingerlings.
The Skills Development Fund, SDF, supports training institutions to develop innovative training content to meet key skills challenges of industry. Starting this April, watch SDF Diaries on the Joy News channel on Multi TV every Saturday, 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. SDF, managed by Cuthbert, is an initiative of the Government of Ghana with support from the World Bank and Danida.
The Poultry
industry plays a very vital role in our national development. And so the Volta Region Association of Poultry Farmers requested for funding from the Skills Development Fund to improve the skills of their membership, just so that they will be able to produce feed, formulate feed, and also carry out diagnosis of diseases for the animals that they take care of, and then as well as being able to market and then develop them within the shortest possible time to offer them to the market. These we consider as very important, and therefore the fund given them was to make sure that the membership acquire these skills and improve the yield of their produce, so that they can offer better quality poultry meat and other products to the market. And SDF is quite happy to do that, because we know that that is a major contribution to our national development.
Beneficiaries of the funding were put into 4 zones, with each zone having a demonstration farm set up to facilitate efficient training of members. Members were taken through the theory and practice of local but nutritious feed formulation, application of medicines, disease diagnosis, record keeping and marketing. The trainings have had a tremendous impact on members' appreciation and application of modern techniques in poultry management. Members can now produce their own feed with local raw materials, efficiently apply medicines to treat diseases of their birds, and also manage their businesses properly. This has also led to a reduction in the mortality rate of their birds. Among the beneficiaries of the skills training is Dora Hamenu, a poultry farmer in Ho.
The training given us at Adidome was done by the Adidome Farm Institute. It has so helped us. The areas of training cover brooding. Brooding is the time when you take the day-old chicks, you prepare the ground for them, find good temperature for them. When the weather is cold, you need to heat them, put heater there, and give them proper watering and proper feeding for them to grow well. They taught us even how to watch them, so that if they are feeling cold, you will see, and then improve the heating condition, so that they will grow old. Formerly, without this training, when we took birds, sometimes you lose about 10% through death, youth age. But now, after the training, the livability has improved so much that sometimes you take 200 birds, you will lose about 5, which has brought a big improvement and has improved our performance as farmers. We want to use this opportunity to thank Adidome Farm Institute, who facilitated this training for us, and we also want to thank CODVET for releasing funds to organize this training for us farmers. Thank you.
Faith Bochu tells his story of how the skills acquired in brooding has enhanced his living conditions.
About the litter, what I used to do before is that I wait maybe 3 to 7 months before I collect the litter. But after the training, we were told that is not a good practice. So every 3 weeks, I used to collect the litter and then bring in another sawdust for them to live on it. The benefit of the training that I had, before the mortality death was high, about 10 to 15%. But after the training, when I put all this into practice, I realized that it has dropped to 1%. And it has increased my egg production and then makes the birds live healthier.
Maxwell Denweni, a beneficiary from Ho, narrates how business was before the training in feeding.
What I learned from the training is, 1, we were taught to weigh the feed before we give the birds. And this depends on the age for a particular time of the bird. Then also the time. From morning 6 o'clock you give. And that is the 3 stages. Morning, afternoon, and in the evening. Then the 2 stages, morning and in the evening. All depends on the weight you give them. Also, instead of giving them much feed, in the process they will be overweight and other things which will cause diseases has reduced. And we were introduced to automatic drinker that you pipe it through them. So anytime the water is there for them, whether day or night, the water is there for them. So there won't be anything like they don't have water and you will lose some of them. That one has helped me so much.
The Skills Development Fund, SDF, supports training institutions to develop innovative training content to meet key skills challenges of industry. Starting this April, watch SDF Diaries on the Joy News channel on Multi TV every Saturday, 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. SDF, managed by Cuthbert, is an initiative of the government of Ghana with support from the World Bank and Danida.
In view of the skills training acquired, the future obviously looks bright for members of Volta Region Poultry Farmers Association, observes Paul Dade Robin, Deputy Director of Agric, MOFA.
The poultry industry, if I should go back